Hey guys, welcome to this video where we are going to discuss about how to install Litmus 2.0 using Civo and get our chaos engineering workflows up and running in seconds. To start off with, I'm going to talk about what Civo is. So if you don't already know, it makes our work a lot easier and faster because of its K3s capability. So it uses K3s behind the hood, which makes our cluster up and running in literally less than 80 seconds. So if you are wasting your time there, Civo, with the help of Civo, you can ensure that that is completely neutralized because it gets your cluster up and running in just seconds. On the other hand, Litmus is a cross-cloud, cloud-native chaos engineering toolkit that allows you to do chaos engineering in a much broader flexibility with its capabilities of using multiple CRDs and the cloud-native infrastructure that allows it to be more and more flexible. SREs use Litmus to create, manage, and monitor chaos workflows by extending the capabilities of Kubernetes itself. So in this video, we are going to follow two main steps. This number one step would be to actually get our clusters up and running in Civo and install Litmus 2.0. Once we install Litmus 2.0, we are going to access the front end of Litmus, and we are actually going to execute a chaos workflow once our 2.0 version is up and running. To start off with, we need to go ahead and create an account in Civo. So if you haven't done it already, go make sure you have an account created. Once you have an account created, you should be able to see this sort of a UI once you visit the Kubernetes tab. When you are in the Kubernetes tab, you should be able to get launch my first cluster option. So once I click on this launch my first cluster, I should be able to get a UI which would allow me to choose the different cluster metadata that I want. So in this case, the name of the cluster, I would just specify it as demo Litmus. This is the default instance, and the network would also be default in this case for me. Now there are multiple options to select the size of the cluster. For this demo, I would go with a medium size, but it's recommended that you go for a large cluster since 8 GB of RAM is recommended for most of the workflows if you want to run them in parallel, let's say. So if you change the sequence of those workflows, then yeah, 8 GB of RAM is preferred, and based on how you run your experiments, your chaos workflows, the cluster has to scale accordingly. So you need to monitor how you want to do your chaos workflows and then scale the clusters accordingly. So if I move a little downward, if I scroll down, I should be able to see the marketplace. These are the different applications that are there in the Civo marketplace. So if I hover or move over to CI/CD, I should be able to see Litmus. So I would be selecting the Litmus application from the Civo marketplace. As you can see, it's the version 2.0 beta version right now. And also I'm going to go to management and select Helm, since Litmus 2.0 uses Helm in the background. So Helm is also required for this setup. Now that I've selected the two applications, Helm and Litmus, I would go ahead and create a cluster. So till that is done, there'll be a timer that starts, which would tell you how much time you have left for the cluster to be created. So once this expires, your cluster will be up and running, and then you can access the same. So while that is happening, if you haven't watched the previous video about Litmus and the Litmus core service, how to install those, how to install the chaos operator, how to install the service account and the different experiments, then make sure you check out this particular link that I'm posting in the screen right now. It will also be in the description box below. So if you check that link, it's a blog by Civo itself where you have also a video embedded which goes much in depth about how to install the core services of Litmus, and you can gain a much deeper knowledge about Litmus because it's like a breakdown of the different services that is used. This 2.0 version would be mostly focused towards the features that 2.0 provides, which is GitOps, sequence editing. You can schedule parallel and multiple serial experiments, so you can change the sequence of those experiments. You can visualize your workflows in a much better way, as well as you can also see and enhance teaming screens. So these are just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more in 2.0 which you can explore. So now that our cluster is up and running, just jump right into the terminal and check out our cluster. So in your terminal, you have to go ahead and switch the context. So I have already done so to the Civo cluster. Now if I do a kubectl get pods in the namespace of Litmus, which is where all the default pods are being created in this particular namespace, I should be able to see the three pods, which are the front end pod, the server pod, and the Mongo, which is storing all the data. So now if I view the services that are running in the Litmus namespace, I should be able to see three: the Mongo service frontend and the server service. Now I should be able to access this frontend service by doing a node IP colon the port of the particular frontend service. So in this case, the port is 31624. I would need to check the particular node IP of my Civo cluster. So I can do that in this particular UI. So if I visit the cluster UI, I should be able to see a master node having an IP of this. So if I just copy the IP, I can paste the IP followed by a colon and this particular port, which is 31624. So if I just copy it over and paste it, I should be able to visit the Litmus portal frontend, and this is the 2.0 frontend that you're about to see. And that's it. That's all it took to install Litmus 2.0. Compared to the previous method where you had to do a lot of more things to just get the operator installed and run the experiments. This is all you need to do to get the Litmus 2.0 installed. So make sure you have Helm and the Litmus app installed in Civo cluster, and then just run it locally, as well as just copy over the port, and you're good to go. So for this case, I would be an admin with a password of Litmus. So since this is my first time logging in, I have to do the onboarding process, which means I have to confirm my password as well as also give a project name. So let me confirm my password and give a project name of demo. So right after the onboarding, we'd be greeted with the welcome page, and this is the home page, which will tell us that we can schedule a workflow, also show us how many agents we have, as well as which project we are in and how many invitations we have. So at the right top, you will be able to see the current project that you are in, also the invited projects if you are a part of any other project. In the left section, you can see the agents and the Chaos Hub. So if I click on agents, you will be able to see that we only have one particular agent right now, which is the self agent that is connected to the Civo cluster. So this is the self agent that is connected to the Civo cluster right now. Also in the Chaos Hub, we'll be able to see all the different experiments that we saw in the previous video, in the Litmus installation video, that these were part of the external hub. Now we have all of these inbuilt as a part of the Litmus 2.0. So we can select any of the particular experiments that we want from this hub. We can even connect our own hub in this section where we have connect a new hub. So if you have a Git repository, you can create your own charts and connect the same. Now to schedule our first workflow, we'll click on schedule a workflow and we'll select the particular agent that we have right now, which is the self agent. You can choose your own particular agent that you want to run your workflows on. I'll choose self agent in this case. Just after the onboarding, we also have a few services that get spawned up, which are required for Litmus to inject the chaos. So we had a beta, frontend, Mongo, as well as the server service. Right now we also have the subscriber, the chaos operator, workflow controller, Argo service event tracker, and chaos exporter. So these are the different services that we need in order for the workflow to execute successfully. Let's just minimize the same. So we are going to inject chaos in an Nginx deployment pod in this scenario. So let's just go ahead and deploy an Nginx deployment first. So we will deploy an Nginx image. We can do it either in the Litmus namespace or in the default one. So for this one, I'll just do it in the default namespace. So let me just create a deployment of Nginx. So now that we have deployed our Nginx application, we'll watch for it in order for us to track what is happening with the application. So if I do this, I should be able to see Nginx running, and now we can see it's just ran successfully about 88 seconds ago. Now let me minimize the same, and this is in the default namespace. So once I select the self agent and I move forward, I should be able to see 4 different options. So these are, one is the predefined option, so I can select from a list of predefined workflows. I can even select from clone from an existing workflow if I have one. So let's say you want to enhance on the capabilities of a certain predefined workflow, and you add something more to that. You can save that configuration as a template and use that template again and again. Another is selecting from my hub, which is Chaos Hub, or you can connect your own hub and select experiments from there. And the last one is importing from YAML. So you can either upload a YAML or drag and drop a YAML if you have a custom one, or if you have your own locally. So you can use the same. For this demo, I'm going to use Chaos Hub, since I would just run a pod delete experiment on the Nginx deployment. So if I go ahead and click on next, that was just setting the name. So I want my name to be custom chaos workflow. and if I add a new experiment, in this case pod delete, I can choose whichever experiment I want. So these are all the different Chaos Hub experiments coming from Chaos Hub. Now if I click on done, I should be able to see one pod delete experiment. So if I view the metadata of this, I should be able to see the target application, which is app, the namespace is default, and the app label is app equal to Nginx. So this is the label that I'm targeting. The same is for Nginx. So Nginx is also having the label of app equal to Nginx. If I click on next and finish, I don't want to add any probe. We can see the revert chaos is on. I'm okay with all the settings. I'll go with next, and I'll just schedule this particular workflow with after viewing the summary. So now that I find that everything is okay, I can finish, click on finish, and this would be successfully scheduled. So once this has been scheduled, I can see the visualization of this workflow live, and also I can see the same in the terminal, what is exactly happening with the workflow. So let me also do another watch statement. Which would actually watch for the chaos event that is happening. So this would be the chaos triggers, the different in this case the chaos workflow that is currently running. This would be the different chaos injection that is happening, and the other would be the actual application that is would be having the chaos on. So this is the chaos experiment that was just executed. So if I click on it and get into further details, we'd be able to see the visualization of the same. So we can see that our custom chaos workflow is running, and it is currently installing all the different experiments. You can also see there's something called as a table view, which would be the same. So you can see all this different experiment in node level in the table view. In the graph view, you'd get a broader view of this entire aspect, and even on clicking, you can see the logs as well as the different chaos results. So after this is finished, it'll fetch all the different chaos results that it has: the verdict, the status, the probe success %, etc. So this is the logs that is currently being fetched. Now we can see the pod delete is running. If I go to the application, we can see that it was terminating right a minute before. So Nginx was running before, it just respawned itself, and its age is now 14 seconds. So the pod delete is running. We can again see it has been terminated, and it is continuously being running. So while that runner is there, which is injecting all these different chaos jobs, pod delete will try to kill the Nginx container that we have in the target. So yeah, that's how Litmus 2.0 executes chaos. And once this is finished, we'll also get a revert chaos step, and that step will actually revert all the chaos that has been happened, and we'll finally also get the chaos verdict. So let's just wait for this experiment to finish, and I'll show you the verdict. So we can see that our experiment has finished, pod delete is successful, and now we are reverting all the chaos. So if I go to pod delete and see chaos results, I should be able to see that my status, experiment status phase is completed, the verdict is passed, and the probe success % is 100, and in the history I can see number of passed runs is 1. So after revert chaos is successful, it will revert all the chaos that has been happened, and if I go visit the logs, visit the terminal, I would be able to see the custom workflow has been completed, and my Nginx container is up and running again. It has been 2 minutes since it has run. So Nginx is resilient enough, and that's how we determine how resilient your particular application is. So that's it, and thank you for watching this video.